Hi, everybody. My name's Ilah Renzing. This is Subconsciously Speaking. What's in your mind? Today, I'm recording this podcast while standing in about approximately 2,000 square feet of my backyard here of a man's life after he's gone. There's fishing gear, there's camping equipment, tools and tool boxes and shelves and just memories, evidence of projects and hobbies and plans and intentions. It's a reminder that someday every one of us leaves this world without taking anything with us. And in this episode, it's not about blaming people for collecting things. I collect things. We all collect things. That's not what this is about. For me, it's understanding emotional weight and how easily it is as human beings to become buried beneath our stuff. It's emotional residue. This episode's titled Emotional Weight and Release. And there's a reason for it. It all boils down to 5 words. I may need this someday. I may need this someday. Whatever that is. Why? Why do we need this someday? Sometimes we don't want to let it go because there's a fear involved of letting it go. It's our stuff. We don't want to go, or it's someone else's stuff, or it's stuff that you inherited and you don't want to let go. But here I am in the middle of close to 2,000 square feet of stuff, and it's just everywhere. We got camping and fishing and hunting and just a whole bunch of stuff that has no value, emotional value, and there's some monetary value maybe, but that's not the point. The point is the stuff that weighs me down. I don't want to be weighed down anymore. It gives me a perspective now that most people never will truly face unless they're forced in it to themselves. So it's about awareness today. How can I help you? I may not have the full qualifications, but I've been helping myself these last 9 months. Maybe it's just me understanding, and I'm going to give you some help, some ideas, some concepts, and maybe a way to just talk to me or talk to somebody about how to move forward. It doesn't take much for you to truly see how easy it is for human life to become buried under accumulation, and all the while, your life just slips away. I never saw this. It was here. I just never cared to look. I cared too much for him that I looked past it. It wasn't until a week ago, literally a week ago, before I started to realize, wow, kind of thing. And then, filling a couple of 20-yard dumpsters over the last few months. We all get into this, I'll get to it, the someday cycle, and that's all human. And we're allowed. Allow yourself that grace. But I've never met anyone who has ever figured this out entirely 100%. Sometimes people just don't need motivation. They need momentum. Once you get momentum, motivation kicks in. And when motivation kicks in, it decreases your overwhelm. Just know that. The sun's bright today. There are these items I'm donating, I'm trashing, I might be selling a few. That's going to be gone. All this stuff is just going to be gone. On one hand, I don't have any emotional attachment to it, but here's the thing. All of this belonged to my amazing husband. This represents a big portion of his life, of what he does, what he did, and who he was. And now I get to just let it go. Why do we not want to let it go? Because there's a tension of avoidance. There's that fear of letting go that I can help you with. But maybe there's a sense of betrayal. What if I let this go and I'm betraying his memory? You're not. I'm not going to let that happen to me. I need to move forward into I know he'd want me in a much better light, a much better situation. Minimalists unite, right? I don't let it go. So it's not betrayal, and it's not guilt or shame. It's not any of those things. It's making a decision and being intentional for yourself. Look, and like I said before, 2 20-yard dumpsters that were filled in the last 8 months. And there's more. Sometimes the collection of our stuff, it creates an unknown. Go to episode 2, pause, go to episode 2, watch it, and then come back. You're going to learn about your knowns and your unknowns. But just some of this is just the unknown. I don't know what this is going to do. I know that I'll have a clearer backyard and a little patio set up. My morning coffee, which is, I'm doing this so I can have coffee outside, right? No, I'm just kidding. So when you let it go, and that's what happens. What happens when you let it go? That's the question. But now someone else is burdened with your stuff. No, 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 no. What if a gardener needs tools? I've got tools. I got tons of gardening tools. I'm never going to use them. But if somebody can come in and take those off my hand fairly, they can make money with those tools. So that's not creating more stuff for somebody else. It might be just creating an opportunity for someone that I'm never going to use. I might keep a rake, but that's maybe, just maybe. But I'm being told, don't do that. This is a little bit personal for me, in that these were the things that reminded me of Mike, just because of who he was. But I wasn't there when he bought 90% of this. That was on him. It's me now getting rid of his stuff so that I can unlink that part of me to the future, to my future, to my here and now. I get to live in an open space and just a freedom instead of being stifled all the time. For some, this is a backyard, again, full of memories. It's fine. These memories are fine. And I remember some things that he pointed out to me over the years. We were only together 4.5 years. So when I say the years, within those 4.5 years, right? Letting go also is something I've had to deal with. It's so final. It's final. It's okay, this is it. I don't have this stuff anymore, but what am I going to do with it? Look at it for the rest of my life and then have my children have to deal with this? They're going to have enough problems dealing with my own personal stuff, which is diminishing. Yay. So it's a kind of a cathartic healing when you get into this. And catharsis is like the best word I can think of once I let this go. It's going to give me that sense of freeing and opening and just being a part of just a new whatever is in front of me, whatever that is. I don't know. No emotional attachment. I'm not a big sentiment about most things. Everything that I do have that I want to keep of my husband's, it fits into one of those tubs you get at Costco, and it's still half full. And I'll go through it again and let go of more stuff and more stuff. I just let go of stuff. I'm just letting it go. The whole idea here it is about freedom. It isn't about just the stuff, but it's about freeing myself, freeing my mind, allowing you to help free your mind, returning your nervous system back to a normal state, walking into your home, noticing the sense of peace that resides and no pressure. Let me tell you, the pressure that I've been under has been immense and enormous. This isn't theory, people. This is me living it right now. And I'm bringing it to you in the middle of me living through this right now. I didn't overaccumulate stuff. I collected, I inherited. I don't have an emotional attachment or anything like that. I did have some difficulty with releasing this stuff because of who it represents. And I know I've said that several times already. We spend so much of our time in our lives. We gather memories. Well, here's an idea. Take a picture and then either sell it, give it, donate it, trash it to somebody else. You have the picture of the memory. Pictures, they last a long time. And at the end of life, after gathering all the evidence that we existed, this is what we have left. This is his existence as tangibly as we know it. But I promise you, no one's going to remember Mike like this. They're not going to remember a full packed out garage or a shed. They're not going to remember all the tackle boxes or the fishing gear. They're not going to remember the full shelves. They're not going to remember any of that. You know what I believe? They're going to remember what I remember about Mike, about your loved one, who you are in the same situation. Our conversations, the kindness, the presence, the connection, the compassion, the funny stories he told me. I miss those. That's what this is just minutia to me, just minutia. I don't think of any of this as somebody who was an accumulator of stuff. This was his character. This is who he was, and I loved him for it. It never occurs to me to think of him in any other way. And for you and your family and your loved ones who may be experiencing the same thing, look at them as they were, as their people that they were. There's way more to a relationship than the stuff we have. Perhaps you want to start creating a little more room for your own stuff. Maybe a little less things that you can carry your life forward in. I'm going to get rid of that. Just gone. It only took me 9 months to get here. And I know some people, I know of some people, decades. They still left their spouse's stuff exactly the way it was before they died. No, I'm not that young. I'm older, and it's time to just start clearing stuff away. As a hypnotherapist, how can I help you? We can work to help your identity perspective. I can also help you create emotional distance using IEMT, which is integral eye movement technique, so that it helps your nervous system stop treating everything as a decision loading meeting. You don't need it. What do I do with this object? What do I do? How do I handle getting rid of this, straight line, whatever this is? How do I do that? You just do it. You just throw it in the tub and it's gone. I don't have to deal with that anymore. Is there any attachment to it? Well, maybe there was, but I don't care right now. Okay, I'll dig it out later. I'm not motivated. Again, it starts with momentum. The more motivated you become, it's because of the momentum you created, and your overwhelm goes down. I can't tell you, I don't know. I want us to be able to say a thing like, I am the most overwhelmed woman I know. And yet I'm able to stand here and just, okay, there's a lot of stuff here. And this represents Mike, and a lot of his friends are going to be here this week looking at stuff that they remember. They've known him longer than I have. And it's wonderful. So where do you start? Where do you let go of your procrastination? How do you get yourself unburied? It's a daunting task. Letting go of the emotional baggage that you carry, that mental overload that you have, letting me teach you how to reframe it. I know that works because I've had to reframe so much of what I've experienced in the last 9 months. It's learning that it's stuff. I have no use for this. But it reminds me, because he loved to fish. It reminds me of, so some people would keep it because it reminds me of fishing. You know what? I have pictures of him fishing. That's good enough for me. So as we look around this vast array of stuff that I will be letting go of this week, if you have a similar perspective or idea or situation, you want to learn how to distance yourself and unlink the emotional attachments to things or to people or to whatever's going on in your life, let's talk. The phone calls are free. Just give me a call. Just let's see what my conversation with you can help you do. My name is Ilah Brock Renzi, and this is Subconsciously Speaking. Thank you for joining me today.